on a frosty morning. It's pretty cold in here. I mean, really cold in here. It's even worse with the shutter open with the wind and that outside. But we're back, and it's going to be another episode about my new Mazda. So, the VVT and the timing chain is a common problem on these cars, and the timing chain hasn't failed on this car yet. So I thought to myself, might as well do it preventatively. I ordered the VVT actuator sprocket thing as well, just in case. I was like, you never know what could need replacing. Luckily, the timing chain doesn't make any noise yet, so let me just replace everything while everything is still good and I don't end up with a blown engine. So, I tore open the valve cover yesterday, and this is how it looks. So, the chain is pretty tight. Luckily, our chain hasn't failed yet, but as you can see, if I zoom in there, our VVT sprocket has failed, as Mazda has announced. This will cause some slack in the timing chain on startup because the pulley can't lock anymore. As you can see, it's failed. That's not what it should look like. This definitely warrants me doing the timing chain and everything on this. Being honest though, the timing chain looks good and the tension is there. So this is what we need to fix. Should not look like that. So we're going to get to stripping everything off here today. We're just going to keep these reservoirs out the way, take the engine mount off, take the crank pulley off, take the auxiliary pulley off, take the front cover off, and then we're going to slap our timing kit on it. See if I can even do it, because I've never done a timing chain in my life. So you're going to join me on something that I've never done before. Should be pretty interesting. So at least we know the car is going to be bulletproof. When I do sell it, I don't have to feel guilty about it not having been done, and then for example the new owner might buy the car and blow it up within a week. I wouldn't want that to happen. I'd feel pretty guilty. So rather get it done now, nice and fresh, no problems, have the engine and the car sorted, and we're good to go. So what I'm going to do now is start stripping stuff off, and I'm going to check back in once I'm at the point where the chain is exposed and we can take a good look at everything. Then we're going to start taking off all the sprockets and stuff. We're going to take a look at everything. Quick check-in. I have removed the engine mount at the top, and I also got the crank pulley off. Now that was a little difficult, and what I ended up doing is putting my brake bar on it with a little extension off an axle stand, as you see there, and bumping the starter motor with the bar wedged against the floor, and it seemed to have cracked it loose. I did have trouble trying to undo it with the gun because my gun was too weak. Then I tried another gun, a corded one, still didn't do it, but the starter trick seemed to have sorted it. So we're pretty close now. We just have to pull off this front plate, and then we're going to have access to the timing cover. We also have to take off this pulley there and possibly the tensioner, I believe that is. So we might have to take off the tensioner as well, get those off, get this front cover off, and we're going to have access to the timing chain. I'm going to have a look at the timing chain, the guides and everything. Like I said, this is all completely new to me, so I've never done a timing chain, so I guess I'll figure it out as I go along. There's enough videos on YouTube anyway to help me, so I don't think this will be too much of a problem. Anyone that's mechanically minded, or even with just common sense, that's why I make these videos actually, is to show you guys you can do anything as long as you try and you're willing to learn and put some effort into trying to do it, because this is completely new to me and I'm going at this without any help. Nobody in my workshop. We're all closed up. So on my own here, figuring it out as I go along. The internet's there to help. There's so much information on the internet. So guys, don't take it for granted, man. There's just so much information you can get on the internet that's invaluable. So that'll help me do the job. So toast with my Boost Energy 1 pound drink, get my energy levels up, and then we're going to crack on with this job. All right, check-in time. So I have removed the pulleys, and I've also removed all the covers along this side cover, which there's a lot of bolts. I made sure I kept a separate box with all the bolts that come out of there from the side panel. So now it's time to take it off. And that's the front cover off. As you can see, luckily no leaks. There's a good seal of silicone all around, which is how it's meant to be. And here we have our chain and guides. Just looking at it like this, I can't say that I see anything wrong, but you can see the chain tensioner is very far out. That's not good. So had I left this any longer and carried on driving without actually looking into if the timing chain has been done, this could have probably led me to an engine failure. It's a good situation that I've pulled this apart now and we're replacing all that. Look at that tensioner, how far that out. That is way too far out. So even though there's not that much play in the chain, that will not be good for it. So we're going to change that tensioner, both the guides, the sprockets down there. Make sure we change everything. So I'm going to check it with you guys once I get all this stuff on, because I don't want to film myself doing this, because first of all, there's no room down there, and secondly, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so I'm gonna have to figure it out as I go along. So I'm gonna catch up with you guys when all the new parts are on, and then it comes to timing the engine, which we're gonna have to use a special tool for, but we'll see that. Hang in there. Okay, we've got our tensioner off from down there. Got the chain off, and I'm going to show you what a failed VVT solenoid looks like. Bear in mind the cam is not moving. Yeah, that is no good. That's what your failed VVT looks like. This usually results in like a rattling noise on cold start. This car didn't really exhibit that, oddly enough. And if it did, it was very quiet, so not like the usual noise when these fail. So lucky I caught this in time. This will be working just fine under oil pressure, so as soon as you start the engine, it's built oil pressure, it will run just fine. But of course, when there's no oil pressure, so when you first start it, it'll result in that. And this will result in some timing chain noise, and it will eventually wear the chain. So we've got our chain here. Garbage. The old tensioner, I mean, it was pretty much out from like here. It was almost all the way out, so this chain's already stretched a good amount. It's a good job that we're changing it. And this is all the new stuff to go on. So we're going to be chucking all this stuff on. It's going to be like new. We got loads of the old shit off, so the oil pump chain, the main timing chain, the tensioner, oil pump chain support or whatever the hell that is, oil pump chain tensioner. Everything seemed in pretty good condition. You can see it's marked, but there's nothing you can feel by a finger, so everything's in pretty good shape. Although I have to say that the gears feel pretty sharp, so the gears might have been worn, especially these top ones. I believe they might have been worn, so it's a good job we replaced everything. We replaced everything other than the oil pump drive, and that is only because I don't have a tool to hold that in place. So you can see all new on there. Both chains, tensioner for the oil pump, guide for the oil pump chain, and we've got the normal chain on here for the engine. Got a new sprocket, new left side cam sprocket as well, two tensioners, oh sorry, one tensioner down there, which you can see how much better that is. That's nowhere near as far as out as the other one, so this one is much better. And then we've got our ball chain guides as well, which are brand new, which the other ones were in good condition as well. So now we need to time this puppy up, and I don't actually have a timing tool, or well, the timing tool that I got with the kit won't work. So I'm gonna have to go make one on the mill. I'm gonna hit up my boy Luke, so shout out to HVP Engineering. He's my guy for anything that I need custom made. he's the guy to go to. So I'm gonna put a link in the description with his Instagram. If you need anything from fabrication work, intercoolers to machining to anything, this guy can do literally everything. So I'm gonna get Luke to make me a plate to set the cams for top dead center. And we're gonna lock the crankshaft into top dead center as well. And then we're good to go to reassemble everything. I should be able to put the side cover on already, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave that off and make sure everything is timed first, and then we can go ahead with anything after that. All right, I'm back, and the plug saved the day with the timing tool. So we're gonna check if it fits. We just have to rotate the cams just to slot into those machine grooves, and then we are perfect, ready to go. Ready to time this engine, put everything back together. We also vapor blasted the valve cover, and then also the timing cover underneath. And I also got a brand new front main seal from Mazda to go into our fresh timing cover. So we're gonna get this all set up nicely, and yeah, I'm gonna check in with you guys once I've started putting it all back together, once I've timed the engine, and as we go along. So I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Peace. Got our timing tool inserted, and now we're ready to tighten everything up and set the chain tension. Our fresh timing cover with a brand new front main seal. Look at that finish on that. Looks good, don't it? So now we're going to clean up the back side of this and get some gasket maker on there ready to button everything up. We've got our valve cover done. See how that's nicely vapor blasted. I'm just putting all the gaskets and stuff back in. Got to put the cam sensor back there still in that little hole. Oil that seal up, and then we can put our valve cover back on. Our baffle plate has been resealed with some silicone underneath there, and we're pretty much ready to slap that back on. We are almost at completion. We've got one task left to do, and that is fill the car up with oil. As you can see, coolant is topped up extra because I know it's going to leak down once we turn the car on. Oil funnel in, valve cover on, everything is back on. Jesus Christ, man, there's so much shit to unplug, screw in, everything to put together. That was a real nightmare job. You can see cover there, down there, looking fresh. The valve cover's looking fresh. So we're gonna pour in our oil, and then it's ready for the first start. So let me pour in this oil, and we'll see if this thing fires up and if it makes any noise. Hopefully I timed it correctly. If not, then we got a problem. So let's hope it's all correct. Fingers crossed. Some plug is tight, oil filter is tight, all the pulleys, everything is tight, belt is on, cam bolts torqued down, everything is good to go. That'll do it. That's all the oil we need. So let's get ready for that first fire up. Here goes nothing, I guess. Oh yes! Much quieter than before from the engine. Wow, that is quiet. Okay, looks like the timing chain must have been noisy before that I didn't notice, because now it's so much quieter. Wow! Listen to this engine, guys. Honestly, this sounds like a brand new engine. Sounds brand new. That sounds amazing. There is no way. Okay, Okay, attempt number 2. I forgot to plug in the high pressure fuel pump because I'm a noob. Huh. Still on. Maybe I have to clear the codes, but I can't do that right now. I don't have Hey, sounds better though. Sounds good. Sounds like a good engine to me. So, if you enjoyed that fixing my car and stuff, if you enjoyed that, leave a thumbs up, subscribe up here. I'm gonna leave a little thing there. And yeah, looks like the car's working. I'm gonna have to put the computer on it to see what codes I'm getting to reset the engine light. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Thank you very much for watching. I now have a working Mazda with a good timing chain, and now I can live happily ever after without having to worry that my engine's gonna blow up. So yeah, sounds good to me. I'm gonna see you guys in the next episode. Peace. All right, little update again before I go. All the lights are off. ABS turned itself off. The engine light was because I'm a noob and didn't connect 2 plugs. But other than that, car seems to run great. And now I can feel safe with having a secure timing chain. Yeah, man. I'm gonna do a mini pull for you guys. Second gear rolling. There's a bit of traffic in front of me, so I can't do a full pull, but here we go. Holy shit! Yo, this is a ripper! Yo, we ain't fucking around. Yo, oh shit, that's a ripper, mate.